Jon Jones is the and still UFC heavyweight champion after scoring a third-round TKO of Stipe Miocic in the UFC 309 headliner at Madison Square Garden. This was a big moment for Jones. He comes back from a 20-month layoff, a couple serious surgeries to his shoulder and elbow, and is able to go out there and pretty much have his way with Miocic. Maybe not the quickness of a finish, but he really broke him down, almost did get the stoppage in round one, and ultimately scores a nasty spinning back kick to the body in round three. Happened right in front of us on press row. That was a absolutely vicious shot. Miocic was in agony after Jones landed it and the follow-up sequence, and he gets it done. I know this was a legacy fight in Jones's mind. How that holds up in the opinion of the fans over the course of time remains to be seen. Miocic retires from the sport after this, which I think says a lot about where he was coming into this fight and obviously now coming out of it. But for Jones, he is able to join an elite group of just Amanda Nunes and Henry Cejudo as the only fighters to earn title defenses in 2 UFC weight classes. That is, of course, a big deal. And for him now, the question is he going to unify heavyweight titles with interim champion Tom Aspinall, who made his presence known all week? Jones made it pretty clear he does not want that fight. He is not interested in it. Said he is going to need FU money from the UFC in order to make that happen. I get it. He is doing his thing. He is negotiating. He is trying to get the biggest payday possible potentially for the final fight of his career. So it's all understandable from that perspective, but I get it from the opinion of fans. Maybe some people at the UFC aren't loving that he is trying to go for light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira, who he feels is a bigger legacy name for him at this point than Aspinall. I do understand Jones's mentality in this whole thing, but it rubs me the wrong way for sure. Aspinall has done everything you could possibly ask out of him against the competition that he has faced. He is putting guys away in a minute, 2 minute. He is a destructive force out there, and I'd be absolutely fascinated to see how Jones would deal with his speed, with his overall game. That would be a really, really big fight. Dana White saying at the post-fight press conference it would be the biggest fight in UFC heavyweight history. I hope it can get done for the sake of the division, for the sport, for Aspinall, for Jones. I think everyone involved, there is a lot of upside to this fight. Again, I understand Jones's position. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I hope ultimately the UFC will make it worth his while. We'll do the right thing here, and everyone can have a satisfactory outcome of Jones versus Aspinall. But if it doesn't go that way, and this was the last time we saw Jon Jones, of course, we know the legacy he has created for himself. He is an all-time great, probably the greatest of all time. So for Jones, a big highlight on his reel to score that spinning kick, and now it sets up a very interesting negotiation. A lot's going to happen behind the scenes leading up to whatever comes next here. But of course, the right thing to do for the sport is Jones versus Aspinall, and I pray, hope, and cross all my fingers and toes that it can get done.